Hey guys, what's going on? Happy Friday to you guys. I want to just throw together a video real quick to maybe answer some questions that some of you might have and maybe throw a little insight your way. Can you Cerakote at home? The short answer, yes, absolutely. Is it easy to get into? Yes, actually it is. Is it easy to do? Maybe, depending on your skill set when it comes to painting and prepping and doing that kind of general HVLP type work and, you know, preparation on a product. And you do need to have a few things in your garage at your house to get started in it. So what are some of those things? Well, to run an HVLP gun, you need to have a compressor. Now, common theory and myth is that you need to have some sort of big compressor to run an HVLP gun. Well, it helps to have a good compressor, you know, like a 60 or an 80 gallon, that's, you know, 240 volt. It's going to work much better. I don't have that. I run my HVLP gun for Cerakote, and I have one of the Harbor Freight purple guns, the $10 purple guns that I've used to paint the Rusty Luxie back there, if you've seen any of those videos. I run it off a 21 gallon, 120 volt Harbor Freight air compressor, and it works just fine. I have no problems with it. I can almost use the gun continuously for the projects that I've done. Another thing that you're going to want to use with your air compressor for Cerakoting is you're going to want some sort of a Sandblast Cabinet. My Sandblast Cabinet is right back there on the other side of the Toyota, and I'll take you back there in a second. Another thing you're going to want to have is you're going to need something to cure it, something to bake it, right? Most people have like an old oven in their garage, you know, like an old, they just remodeled their house and they took their old oven out and they put it in their garage, and that's what they cure with. You don't need that. I use like a $79 Hamilton Bay toaster oven that I got at Walmart, and it works just fine. You can put tumblers in there. You could fit all kinds of stuff in there. You're not going to put a wheel in there, you know, from a car that you're going to Cerakote. Most likely you'd powder coat that, but you can Cerakote wheels. You'd want a full-size oven for that, right? Well, and then you're just going to need some general stuff. You know, you're going to want, you know, some sort of a beaker to mix it in. That comes with a lot of Cerakote kits. You're going to need Cerakote, depending on what, you know, what color you're using. And then you're going to want general cleanup tools, you know, like a little bottle here full of acetone to help mix stuff or clean stuff. You're going to need strainers. This is a reusable strainer for Cerakote that you can buy from the Cerakote website. You know, you're going to want a lot of miscellaneous stuff. I'm starting to weigh stuff now instead of using... So in a Cerakote kit, they give you this beaker, and it comes with milliliter measurements there. I'm not using that anymore. I'm using a little digital scale, so it gets things a little more precise if you mix things with a scale. 3 minutes in, can you Cerakote at home? Yes. Is it easy to do? It's fairly easy to do. Is it easy to get into? Again, it depends. So let's leave the table here, and let's show you some stuff that you're going to need to Cerakote. Here we go. So now we're in the back corner of the garage, past the workbench here on the other side of the Toyota truck where the sandblasting cabinet is. So after you strip whatever you're going to Cerakote, you need to degrease, right? So you use acetone or mineral spirits. Some people use Simple Green. I wouldn't use Simple Green. It's a water-based. I use something like, you know, mineral spirits or acetone. After you soak stuff in acetone, scrub it out, get all that, get it clean and dry, then you're going to want to bead blast it. So what they recommend is don't use glass beads. Don't use something that's going to leave any side of a dimple on the surface of whatever you're bead blasting. I use 70 grit aluminum oxide through my blast cabinet here. This blast cabinet is a 30-pound bench top, little workbench here. They make them in a 40-pound with legs on them. This is a 30-pound blast cabinet. They're like $100 at Harbor Freight. You can also buy them used. I spent $50 for this in new condition off OfferUp with blasting media. So what does, hi puppy, what does aluminum oxide look like? Well, I can't really show you here on camera, but aluminum oxide is basically a black aluminum powder that you blast your item with. So basically what you want to do when you're bead blasting something prior to Cerakote is you don't want to have any sign of a shiny surface. You want to get it completely dull and flat. If you have a shiny surface after it comes out of your blasting cabinet, you didn't blast it enough. So you need to put it back in your cabinet, re-blast it again. Then after you blast it and you get that dull, matte kind of surface, pull it out of the blasting cabinet, take your air gun, clean it off, blow off air. Don't re-wipe it down with any sort of a chemical, okay? Or you're gonna have to put it back in the blasting cabinet to try to blast all the residue off. Blow it out with an air gun. Then after you blow it out with the air gun, and it's clean, and you notice there's no shiny spots on it, then you need to do what's called gas out. Let's go talk about gassing out. So we just got done talking about bead blasting stuff. Now we need to talk about gassing out. So what's gassing out? Well, after you degrease and after you bead blast, you need to do what's called a gas out. So what that does is it takes your, whatever you're getting ready to Cerakote. In this case, it's 2 knife blades. What you want to do, and I actually just finished the gas out, so this is a perfect example. What you want to do, for metal items, you want to put them in your oven at 300 degrees for about an hour. So what is gassing out? This is a customer's, I'm not a business or anything, but I agreed to do this for a guy. This is a Spyderco M4 Tanto blade, and what you want to do is you want to put it in the oven for about an hour after you bead blast it, and you want to make sure that there's no oily residue starting to come to the surface. There's no chemicals left on it. What it does is it burns off all of the residual residue from the mineral spirits or anything that might be left over that was in your blast cabinet. You want to have good, clean blasting media, by the way. You don't want to use dirty media. So make sure you have good, clean media, and it's cheap. It's not that expensive. So this is gassed out, and it's looking pretty good. You also want to be careful. This the oven just dinged about 10 minutes ago before I started the video, so this is still really warm. And it's looking really good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let these cool for, I don't know, maybe another 10 minutes or so. Then we're going to coat them. We'll show you how that goes next. Here we go. Stick with us. So guys, this was hard to do on camera because I needed my phone for the mix ratios, but so what I did was we're using H series Cerakote here. We're using H269 Barrett Brown. Then you have a catalyst to go with it. So on my scale here, I tared out the beaker. Then I put in 12.2 grams of Cerakote. That's the amount that I wanted. And then the ratio of catalyst called for 0.52. I kept dropping it in, drop, and then it immediately went from 0 to 0.6. So I'm a hair over on the catalyst, but we'll be okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a rubber glove stretched over the top of this, and I'm going to shake it really good. And then we're going to get it in the gun. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it sit for about 6 minutes and kind of air cure it. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to put one more final coat on it. Now the thing about Cerakote is it has a very short life once it's mixed with the catalyst, and you always want to continuously be shaking it. Now there's probably not much in here. Yeah, I have very little coating in here. We mixed very little to get that amount, and when it trying to figure out the right word, when it mixes with the air, atomizes, that's the right word. When it atomizes with the air, it takes very little product to get a good amount on whatever you're coating. So we're going to let it sit for just a couple minutes, then we're going to come back, shoot it with the final coat, and get it in the oven.
One thing I've learned doing small pieces like this knife blade here, it's very hard to keep them from blowing around when you're spraying coating on them. So if any of you guys start Cerakoting or do Cerakote and you got any tricks, leave them down below. Just doing one more final check before we turn the camera off and put them in the oven. So far, both blades are looking pretty good. I'm really OCD and meticulous, especially with that blade there, because it doesn't belong to me. If it's anything shy of perfect, I'll clean it, degrease it, bead blast it, and I'll do it all over again. And I've done it for myself. Okay. So again, we're going to let both of those air cure for just a couple more minutes. Then we're going to get them in the oven.
This hook's kind of goofy. "300 degrees for an hour." So guys, I won't go too in depth on cleaning your gun and all your stuff to mix your Cerakote, but basically clean everything with acetone or mineral spirits. They recommend acetone, and I actually recommend it too. I think acetone does a better job than mineral spirits. So clean your gun, spray acetone through your gun, let it soak in the needle, clean everything really well, wipe your gun down, and it'll last you a long time. So clean everything really well with acetone, guys. All right, guys, so we're done. Here's that Spyderco PM2 Tanto blade in the Barrett Brown, and I think it matches my Tanto pretty well. Kind of give it that Rec OD FDE look. I think this guy's going to be pretty happy. And the other blade that I did is a Microtech Trodon in that Barrett Brown too. So kind of got that Rec OD FDE style look. Granted, this is more of an anodized OD green, but as you guys know, I'm definitely all about that OD FDE type stuff. So, you know, guys, sky's the limit when it comes to the Cerakote stuff. There's no right or wrong answer for a lot of this stuff. I'm an average guy doing it in my average garage, so it's all doable. If you guys have a compressor If you guys spend a little bit of money, get a sandblasting cabinet. Again, they're like $100 at Harbor Freight. Get yourself some decent equipment. You can buy starter kits for Cerakote for like 179 bucks online. That's what I did. It gives you the HVLP gun. I tried doing a lot of looking before I purchased the actual Cerakote kit that came with that HVLP gun. You can buy other HVLP guns that are a lot cheaper. I bought that one because it's Cerakote applicator certified. It's got a metal container to put the coating in. You don't want to use a plastic one. It'll actually contaminate the Cerakote. So I weighed the pros and cons of it, and the Cerakote kit online, the Cerakote starter kit, and I use, this is H series Cerakote. There's a bunch of different series. I think H series has the most colors from what I've found, and H series was the only one that had the Barrett brown and the hazel green, which was the reason why I started this to match that, the Rec OD FDE look. It's only like 179 bucks. It gives you the gun, 3 colors of your choice, the catalyst to go with it to mix for the hardener, filters to strain it, good instruction manual. It gives you everything you need. So 179 bucks, guys. Get you started in Cerakote. If you don't have an oven, get yourself a cheap toaster oven that you can run in your garage or whatever. Whatever you do, common sense, I guess, but whatever you do, don't use it for food afterwards. Buy yourself a toaster oven. Use it in your garage exclusively for, you know, Cerakote, powder coat, whatever you're going to use it for. Believe it or not, I actually tried to do good due diligence. I went to my local Goodwill first and looked at toaster ovens. I kid you not, they had one for 49 bucks that had food crap stained all over it, and I went and bought that one for like $20 more, brand new at Walmart, and it's bigger. It can fit more bigger projects. I can't believe the prices on Goodwill. But anyway, that's beside the point. Can you do Cerakote in your garage? Yes, absolutely. Is it easy to get into? Yes, it's pretty easy to get into. Get out there, guys. Try it. Do it. You know, you send stuff to have Cerakoted. I sent a Glock slide back east to have Cerakoted when it got an RMR cut. And it's amazing the price that it adds. It was like a $50 extra charge just to have the little tiny slide cut in there for the RMR. You know, it's amazing the price that, you know, you pay to have something done. You can just spend a little bit more and do it yourself. And it's fun. So, you know, guys, if you're into this kind of thing, get out there, check it out, give it a try. I like doing the DIY stuff in my garage, as you guys know from a lot of my videos. The Toyota, the toolbox, Rusty Luxie over there, my Tacoma right here. I do a lot of fun stuff in my garage, or at least I think it's fun. So, get out there, try it, guys. It's a lot of fun. If you found this video helpful, somewhat informative, fun, like and subscribe down below and smash that thumbs up button. I always greatly appreciate it. Share this video with your friends, family, whatever. I greatly appreciate it, guys. I'm almost to 1,000 subs, which not a big deal, but it's kind of cool to see them rise every once in a while. And what kind of video would Guns, Gears, and Beers be without a beer, right? Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.